everybody? It's that time again. What's up? 1:18 in the afternoon. 97 degrees. Tuesday. There's a little bit of a breeze. Not that much. Share it out. How's everybody doing? Let's see, we got some people in here. Welcome. Good morning, afternoon, good evening. Let's see, I'll be right back. Let's see who's in here. Let's see, Bud, what's up? And Low Life, what's up, man? Hello. Welcome. I'll read the comments afterwards. I'll get to work. Let's see, we got all the specials here. Let's see what's good here. Top sirloin steaks, $4.59 a pound. Ooh, watermelon, 59 cents a pound. Pollo Loco. Church's chicken. Rice and carne asada seasoning, $7 a pound. Jeez, that's expensive. Ooh, assorted pork chops, $1.99 a pound. That's not bad. Ooh, the Gold Digger. Carl's Jr. Boneless chicken breast, $3 a pound. Yeah, that's not too cheap. Sometimes you can get it cheaper. Well, alrighty. Let's go. Welcome. Yeah, it's 122, 95 degrees outside. A lot of clouds, so that's why it's kind of keeping the sun away a little bit. But yeah, summer is coming. It's here. It's not going away yet. Maybe we'll get lucky and have a couple of weeks, maybe, of some nicer weather. But it's still nice at nighttime at least. It's in the 60s at nighttime, so that's good because I mean, even in the summers here at nighttime, because when I used to work, and I used to see the sign at the school and it tells you the temperature. 1 in the morning and it's like 100 degrees outside. You know, we're talking there's no sun at all, but it's still 100 damn degrees outside. It's like, nah. Then I was driving a truck that didn't have any air conditioning. It was terrible, man. Terrible. Nowhere to go to cool down, man. that. Look at that sky. It looks all kind of gloomy, huh? All clouds. A lot of cloud cover, which is good because then it doesn't get as hot. Yeah, so how's everybody doing? Everybody check out all them channels. Check out my channel list. Check out the family and friends list. And then all those other ones. Oh, another bird there almost hit the car again. Yeah, about a week ago, I was doing a live, going to work, and bird decided to commit suicide, hit the car. I even watched the video again, and to see if I caught it. Yeah, it's on there. I mean, you can see it flying toward the car, and then you hear the little thump. It flies behind me. It goes flying. Hit the corner of the right passenger side in the front. Yeah. Well, today's Tuesday, but it's like my Friday for work, and I'm off the next 2 days, so that'll be good. But I still got so much to do at home, man. Still got to clean up a bunch of stuff, get rid of more stuff, organize everything. Oh, look at that military. Oh, that's not military. That was a truck pulling a cannon, but no, it's one of those vehicles that's pulling stuff for the fields. Field equipment for the plants, stuff like that. Yeah. Come on, guy. It's the freeway. Everybody's going 70 miles an hour. You're only going 45. Jesus. Don't know how to go onto the freeway. Like, you're gonna get hit from behind. People are gonna think you're going 70, but you're only going 45. It's like if you can't go the speed limit on the freeway, stay on the city streets. There's all kinds of streets to get you around here. You don't even have to get on the freeways or highways. It's like if you're only going 45, 55, stay on the regular roads. Yeah, so nice day today. It's just a hot day. It says like 94. Earlier when I was at home, I have a temperature outside. It said it was 102. That's standing still, and it's not even, the sun's not even hitting it. Direct sunlight. Just the heat. No movement. No air. We'll see how the internet works here. Coming up, the internet kind of fails up ahead here. But, yeah, so I was talking about that guy up north, has that pizza place. And then he also has a bunch of photos in his place, where famous people have visited him. He even has a picture of him and John Travolta, because I guess he was up there in that area. I mean, we've had a lot of famous people down here where I live, because they film a lot of movies out here in the desert. They filmed Star Wars, Jarhead. They filmed that movie, the movie I came out in, that was with Tom Cruise and Shelley Long. It's called Losing It. They filmed committing suicide or something, I think. But yeah, that was filmed here. But my company that I was working for back then, yeah, they did security for them. Look at this guy behind me. He's like, leaving a little bit faster than the speed limit, but he wants to tailgate me. You know. So now he's gonna prove his point. Watch, he's gonna pull in real close. You know. Oh yeah. I mean. Man, some people. I remember one time some guy he pulled in front of me and then he flips me off. Then he speeds away like trying to get away. You know, like oh shit. You know, people are stupid. They don't know who they're messing with. You flip somebody off, you don't know if the guy's a crazy guy. He's gonna go after you, shoot your ass, kill you because the guy doesn't put up with shit like that. I mean, I watched a show. There was this guy. It was called The Iceman. The show was, I think it might have been on HBO way a long time ago, but you could probably still find it. It was The Iceman. And he used to be he was a hired hitman, and his trademark was killing with an ice pick, you know, to the head, to the temple. He would kill people that way, and he also shot people, you know. And he was telling a story that some idiots, you know, they like they were tailgating him, you know, and they finally passed him, and then they were flipping him off and doing all these things, you know. And you know, he's all like, you know what? They're lucky. They're lucky nobody paid me. I don't usually kill people without getting paid for it. So he's like, yeah, but hey, I mean, he could have, you know, killed them for a stupidity. But people are that way, you know. They act stupid. Yeah. So yeah, I was talking also about the jacks. You know, when they put in the cars nowadays, they're useless, man. You try to jack up the car to change the flat, you better be on a flat surface, or else the car's gonna roll forward or roll back. Make sure you put this emergency brake on, and even then, it still can move. It's gonna, you know, there's when you're broke down on the side of the road, it's not nice and flat where they probably tested. You know, they test this shit. Oh, let's see if it lifts up the car. Oh yeah. Oh, have a nice flat cement surface probably. You know, it's like you don't even know. You know, so then the person tries to go change a flat, and then you can't because the damn thing is it's like falls off the jack stand. But yeah. This guy's truck's coming here now. Bum, bum, bum. Yep. So, yeah, so what was it talking about? Oh, yeah, so, you know, people think, you know, that it's safe to eat out. It's not really safe. You're taking a risk every time you go out and eat because you don't know how that employee is being treated. You know, his boss is yelling at him for no reason at all. You know, and who's he going to take it out on? He's going to take it out on us, the customers. You know, sometimes, you know, we end up paying for what bosses do to the employees. You know, you figure if employees are happy, they're not going to mess with people's food. You know, or if you treat, you know, it's like if you complain, You know, it's like one time I remember. It's like we went to go eat to a restaurant, and we already knew that the order was going to get all messed up because this person was taking the order of 10 people, 10 people's orders, and she's not writing. I think it was a guy. He wasn't writing anything down. You know, it was like he's not writing anything down. I'm like, this guy's gonna get all the orders wrong. And yeah, when he brought them, I mean, I don't like my burger, bloody, but that's the way our burgers were. My wife's was, and mine was, and we're just, we're not gonna eat this. And my sister was. I told her, I go, I wouldn't, I complained, and I mean, I'm not gonna order another one because then you order another one. What are they gonna do? They're gonna get mad because you sent the order back, and they're gonna mess with your food. That's just how it is. You know. Best thing is, don't ever go to that establishment again. They lose you as a customer. I mean, if they're not gonna listen to your order and you're telling them exactly how you want your order. I want it well done. And certain things. I mean, she got a bunch of other orders, of ours, and then she brought, because they have I think it's like a beer tasting samples, like a sample platter. Well, how am I supposed to know which is which? It's like, you should have wrote it on a little, little napkin that's underneath the glass or something. But yeah, I mean, I was like, that experience, and it wasn't no cheap restaurant. It's these, but then it's because they're pissed off at their last customer, so then they take it out on the next customer. Sometimes that happens. I mean, I've been in retail for years. I used to work in auto parts, and you always greet the customer, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, even on the phone. Thank you for calling Reagan Auto Parts. And, even in the holidays, we have to, and then we used to say Merry Christmas, but then all of a sudden, everything had to be political. Everybody believes in Christmas, so basically it became Happy Holidays. So Happy Holidays. And the thing is, you say all this stuff on the phone and people don't pay attention. They don't listen to what you say. Because I mean, I've gotten phone calls from people, they're calling some other place and they think they're calling that, but they're not. So I had somebody, I answer the phone, thank you for calling Craig and Auto Park. Can I help you? And it was this gentleman, and he's all like, hey, yeah, my wife is pregnant, and I wanted to know if she could take some Tylenol. And I'm like, excuse me, this is not the hospital or the doctor's office. It's like, so they don't pay attention, when they call, listen to whoever's on the other side. And I mean, I remember somebody got a phone call like that too, and then I guess they were calling in sick, but not for where we at, for some other company. Oh yeah, take the rest of the weekend off. Yeah, watch them come back to work, and they go, well, you never called, you're fired. uh, it's like people need to pay attention, but we don't. I mean, we have at work we have signs on the doors, because if you want to enter, it has a picture of somebody wearing a face, mask, because they're still requiring masks in businesses, but only if you're not vaccinated. Now the funny thing is, people read the sign and then they're like, "Do I have to wear a mask?" I'm like, "Well, did you read the sign?" Yeah. Well, did you read the sign? What does the sign say? They don't. They don't read it. They just say they did. They just look at the picture. So in their mind, it says masked, you know. So, so I go, it says if you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask. Are you vaccinated? Yes. Okay, then don't worry about it. So I don't even bother asking people. If they want to wear a mask, they wear one. If they don't, they don't. Because I mean, I'm not gonna start arguments with people that are, you know, anti-mask basically. Even if they didn't get vaccinated, they want to do what they want to do. So it's like I'm not gonna waste my breath on them. And you know why? If they don't feel that they need to wear it, then that's up to them. You know, it's like whatever. Let them do what they want. If something happens and they get sick and they give it to somebody else in their family and they pass away, then it's on them. You know, it's like my brother. You know, he's like that. You know, he's not vaccinated. He doesn't, and he's already. You know, he ended up 8 days at home sick and 8 days in the hospital sick when it first started. He got lucky, you know, that it was already like a couple of months into it. So they kind of knew in the hospital what was working and what wasn't working, you know. So a lot of the deaths happened, I think it was because they were intubating, you know, putting air oxygen, like putting them to sleep, where it was better if they would just pump oxygen into them, you know, and medicate them with the proper medication. And, you know, it depends, you know, then let the body do what it can do. Because, I mean, if it wasn't going to do that, you know, you weren't going to make it. But, yeah, so he was in there for 8 days in the hospital, you know, and he came out. He still, you know, he got sick again, but not as bad, you know. But yeah, I mean, and then he, you know, and then even him after he got it, he still, well, they say I got it. I'm like, come on, either you did or you didn't. I mean, if you want to say it wasn't, well, it's up to you, you know. It looks like somebody's going to some sort of a lake or something. Yeah, so you know, it's like, hey, whatever you want to do. But people don't read signs. I mean, you know, you put up a barrier. You know, you put a like that caution tape. You know, like they do at crime scenes. And people, what do? They go under. They go underneath. This guy wants to fly. It's like, dude, speed limit is 65. I'm already going 70, and so he's going about 80. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you know. But yeah, so leave earlier if you're late. He thinks he has wings. Yeah, so you know, a lot of times you get sick because you know you eat out somewhere. They didn't wash their hands properly. They didn't wash the vegetables, especially if you have lettuce. You know, if you get a sandwich with lettuce, that's the worst one. If they don't wash it out good, because see, people don't understand that stuff from the fields doesn't get washed. They grab it from the fields, they cut off the excess, stick it in a box. Then that box goes to the grocery store or a warehouse, and then from the warehouse it goes to a grocery store. From the grocery store it goes to the shelf. They never wash the lettuce. People think that the lettuce is clean. No. The only products that are like washed, and that's to a point. I mean, they don't like, but they're pre-washed are the ones that are pre-packaged. They don't even say on there pre-washed, but still, you still need to, you know, wash them some more, because I mean, especially lettuce, cabbage. You know, cabbage. What I usually do, I peel off the layers, a couple of layers off, and throw those away. You know, and then still rinse whatever. You know, but lettuce, that's why people get sick when they all eat. There's an E. coli with romaine lettuce. You know, and it's usually the expensive lettuce, not the not the not the cheap one. It's the expensive one, the one that they put on the $6 burger, the one they put on the fancy, on the fancy salads in the fancy restaurants. But they do make these chemicals. More chemicals because that's what our world has become. We use so many chemicals that our bodies are filled with chemicals, man. That's probably why some of us are magnetic. Like people say, "Oh, look, I'm magnetic." Yeah, probably all the crap that you eat, made you magnetic. I mean, look at some of the fish. If you look in the seafood, you know how they have it's supposed because a lot of fish have a lot of mercury in it. Mercury is bad for you. You know, Women that are pregnant can't eat fish that have a lot of mercury in it because defects, birth defects. I mean, and we still eat these fish, but it tells you they're all do not consume more than so many in a week or in a month, you know, and people still eat them. It's just like liver, liver and onions. I love liver and onions, but I mean, my mom used to make it, but we used to eat it maybe once a month if we were lucky. I mean, I ate a while back at a restaurant that made it because my wife, she wouldn't make it. So like, I don't want to eat. I don't want to make that stuff. Even fish, she won't make any fish either. She doesn't like the smell. Yeah, but the thing is, if you buy fresh, if you catch fish and it's fresh, it's not going to smell fishy. The only fish that's going to smell fishy is the one that's been sitting around for a long time. And that's why it smells like fish. I mean, it's like, if it smells fishy, man, it's not fresh. And I think there's a trick. They say if you push the eyeball in on the fish, if you buy the whole fish, there goes the helicopter. Probably got a patient from the desert. Gonna go pick up, or maybe it looks like a fire over there. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, you push the eyeball in, and if it pops back out real quick, that means the fish is still fresh. If you push it in and it don't come out, it's not fresh no more. That fish is pretty much goner. Let's see, road work ahead. Right lane closed. Not good, not good. I'm gonna have to get off of here. I don't know how far ahead it is. If it's on right where I gotta get off, don't want to get stuck. Yeah, so even fish, it's not safe. There's a canal. There's a canal here in the area, and it's called I forget what it's called. But this canal is contaminated. It's got so many chemicals in the canal because factories have dumped their hazardous waste into it and stuff like that. Well, since they did that, the canal, it's contaminated. So any fish are in there are contaminated. Well, supposedly some restaurant, it was a Chinese restaurant, it was fishing and it was getting tilapia. It was fishing tilapia out of it, and it's not that fish is basically not safe to eat. But yet he was fishing it for his restaurant. And then the only reason he got caught was because the highway patrol pulled him over for a different, like a different violation. He couldn't wait, could you? Jesus. So this guy was fishing these fish, and he had them all. He was throwing them all in his trunk of his car. So this guy had a bunch of tilapia, a trunk full of fish, for his Chinese restaurant, and the highway patrol pulled him over, and the only reason he pulled him over because I think it was his tags. His tags were expired or something. So he pulled him over, and then he noticed like something dripping, from the trunk. Well, it was all the fish, that were in the trunk, so something. And he goes, "Hey, what's that in the trunk?" "Oh, it's some fish." So the CHP guy told him, "Hey, well, pop the trunk." So he pops the trunk, and boom, he's got like, I don't know, probably 50 or something. I forget how many fish he got in there in the trunk. He fished out. So, and then he asked him, "Well, where'd you get this fish?" Oh, and he told him which canal it was from. And he's all like, "Oh no, you know what? You can't. That fish is not safe to consume." So he called the game, called the fishing game. So he got ticketed, and they took away the fish. I mean, they were already all dead. I mean, he had them on ice, because he had bags of ice back there. But yeah, I mean, he pretty much. He was gonna feed that to people. That's the thing. We think we're getting good food, and I don't know if you guys ever gone to these Mexican grocery stores. And you guys probably like chorizo. You get that chorizo. That's in. There's already some that are pre-packaged. But then in some grocery stores, Mexican grocery stores, they have supposedly fresh chorizo that they made, and it's like they even shaped there's like a big mound of it, and it's shaped in the shape of a pig. They want to put a little snout on it. They put like olives for the eyes, or a carrot, or and they even put like an apple or something, right there in the mouth. Very creative, to make it look appetizing. And people, I've purchased that in stores, and it is good, but you never know what you're getting. Because I know of a guy. He told me he worked at one of the stores like that, and he said that they used to, like like you get weenie, like the wieners, the frankfurters, the bologna, and all that the packages that start getting kind of bad. You can't really sell them anymore. Well, guess what? They grind them. They mix them all in, and they grind them into that mixture, that thing that's in there, and and they sell it because they don't want to lose money on that product, but yet they don't care that if it's going to make somebody a little sick. Not going to kill nobody. That's if you don't have a weak immune system. See, that's the thing. What if somebody with a weak immune system, of course they're not supposed to be eating stuff like that, if you have a weak stomach, but it's always somebody, is going to get sick, and then they're going to get everybody else sick in the house, because they're not going to wash their hands and they're the ones that are going to prepare the food. That's the thing. What happens, everybody cuts their food, their meat, what happens? They use the cutting board. They don't rinse it. And you're not supposed to cut vegetables or fruits, vegetables on the same cutting where you're cutting the meat. I mean, I do it, but that vegetable's going inside with the meat I'm cooking, so it's gonna cook. So that's not a problem. But then what happens? People use that and they don't rinse it off right. They only have one cutting board, so they use it. They got the chicken and all. They're cutting it on the board, all that because you do know. I don't know if everybody knows this. Every chicken, no matter how new it is, has E. coli in it. It will make you sick. That's why chicken, you have to cook it all the way. You can't undercook chicken. Chicken has to be cooked properly, always, because it has E. coli. That's why people get sick. And people, oh no, you're gonna overcook it. As long as the temperature reaches a certain temperature, then you're safe. You know. But then you go to a restaurant, what do? They make the chicken, and then you're in the middle, and there's like it's pink, and it's bloody. Look at this guy behind me. He's damn tailgating me. The speed limit here is 65. I'm going 70, and he's like tailgating me. If I slam on the brakes because something gets in front of me, all of a sudden, he's gonna hit the heck out of me. But you know, he wants to pass, but there's nowhere to pass. There's too many damn cars coming. You know. And he's driving a Mercedes. You know, Mercedes, they're privileged. It's like, you know, we need to move out of their way. But yeah, there's about 10 cars coming on the other lane. Come on, yeah, go for it. There's another car coming. You want to pass me? You're gonna slam into head on to some other car. But no, you're in a hurry. Yeah, wait till we go into town, then you can pass me. But you know, I guess he should have left earlier, huh? But he still wants to pass me. He's tailgating. I'm like, I'm not gonna go any faster. You know, it's like you're not gonna be able to pass. You can't go any faster, dude. You better back off. And you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna probably pull out his hand and rage. Why aren't you going any faster? I mean, I'm going the speed limit, buddy. And then here it's 40 miles an hour in the city, so. Oh, road work ahead. Well, I guess he's not going to be able to pass me here either. Left lane closed. Well, thought he was going to be able to pass me. I guess not. Look, he's gonna pull in the side of me. Oh, he's most likely he's he works at the prison. He's probably a guard. You know, those guards, they make about $35 an hour or more. But they're always in a hurry. Why? Because they don't leave in time. You know, they need to leave way ahead. Get up earlier. You know, some people, it's like, hey, I can understand if I'm driving like 55 miles an hour and it's 65. But when I'm going 70 and the speed limit is 65, it's like you're tailgating me. It's like, damn, something's wrong with you, buddy. You need to relax. And there's a lot of traffic today. more than usual, man. I mean, usually, you do get a chance to pass somebody. I mean, I was moving all the way to the right. Hey, you want to pass me? Go right ahead. But there was no way of him passing me. Too many cars. He would need to have a faster car. If he would have had maybe like a Porsche or a Lamborghini, man, then he would have went vroom, just zip right by. But he was driving a Mercedes, it's a heavier car. It has cojones, but not enough to pass me fast enough to make it. But he probably could have done it. I've had people do that to me. I mean, I've had people coming at me on this highway head on because they're passing a semi because they don't want to drive behind the semi that's going 55, but yet they're endangering themselves and me just because they don't want to wait till there's an opening, or just hey, that's what I do. If it's not safe, I ain't gonna pass the semi. I'll just drive. I'll drive behind it, 55 miles an hour. I mean, I have time. I have nothing but time. It's like it's not worth it. I've seen people die. There was a lady that this was a while back. I think it was about a year ago. No, more than that. Maybe 3 years ago. I got off work. This was in the wintertime. And it was real foggy that day. Because, I mean, I even hit a bunch of bad spots of fog going home. And, I was driving really careful. There wasn't a lot of traffic. And on the highway, the 2-lane highway, I saw up ahead that the police was on the opposite side. And I'm like, what the heck? And then I look and I see a vehicle, where it got kind of like chopped. I don't, where the wheels are in the bottom of the door of a vehicle. That's all that was left of the vehicle. There was no engine, no seats. I mean, everything was like gone, completely gone. And I figured, oh man, somebody, the way it looked like maybe somebody was just going too fast and a semi, pulled in front of them and then they went right underneath the semi and the semi pretty much chops everything. That's what I thought at first. And this was around almost midnight. But then later on, I find out because it was on the news of what happened, actually the accident. It was the vehicle that was completely chopped off. It was a Honda Pilot. It was kind of like one of those minivans, Honda minivans. And, it's not that big. And the other vehicle was a full-size van, one of those, kind of like a cargo van, but it was a passenger van, I think. And it was driven, the big van was driven by an old lady. She was supposedly I think she was in her 80s, maybe in her 80s or 70s, but she was old. And she was by herself. And the other lady, she was in her 30s. But she had at least 4 kids. They're all in their very young, from maybe 2-3-year-olds up to like teenagers. And the lady in the Pilot was in the fast lane. Now the other lady was headed the wrong way on the 2 lanes on the fast lane, thinking she's on a 2-lane highway. And she's going, the speed limit is 70 miles an hour. So you can imagine 2 vehicles head on. One is a monster and the other one's a little tiny vehicle. That's why the other vehicle, there was nothing left of it. Both people died that day. Sad to say. The thing is, the kids, I don't know, but I don't think the dad was. They were separated, so but he was still around. I think I don't know, but now the kids have no mother. But the thing is, it was so foggy, and then they were working on that highway, the 2-lane highway. They were working on part of it, so in parts of it, it was 2 lanes, one going and one coming. So she might have gotten, on the wrong side and end up because of the fog, couldn't see the sign that said it was going the wrong way. So, it was a terrible accident. I mean, I was like, oh my God, and there was no way that anybody could stop. They say the CHP tried to stop the one that was going the wrong way. But I mean, by the time they call the CHP gets on the highway, and then he wasn't behind her in the wrong lane either. He was on the other side, the right, the where she should have been, trying to flash the lights at her, like to pull over. And come on, even if I'm driving on the wrong side of the road, I'm not looking to the other side. I'm looking straight ahead. Plus, the day was foggy. She probably couldn't even see. I mean, and then she's so old. I mean, who knows how her eyesight is? I mean, it gets bad when it gets foggy. I mean, I was in a car accident when I was younger, when I was like 18 years old. It was in Arizona, in Glendale, Arizona, and a guy hit us. We were turning left. Back then, they didn't have any turn arrows, so you just had to pull in the middle, and then when it turned yellow and no cars were coming, you would pretty much turn in red. Well, we did that, and then a car ran the red light and slammed onto my side. Luckily, I told my friend, hit it, step on it. There's a truck coming, it's going to hit me. And, back then, this was 1980. Nobody wore seatbelts back then, There was no seatbelt law. So, and then the seatbelts they had back then were all lap, which really didn't protect you as these new ones do. I mean, you kind of get more injured because it would mess up your pelvic, so it was, so then I turned my face because I said, oh man, glass is going to fly into my face. And then I kind of bend my knees and kind of, brace for the hit, put my arm already on the arm, the door. And then when we got hit, I turned, and then after we got hit, it is true that when an accident, everything, I mean, it was like all in my mind. I was seeing everything in slow motion because, I was looking at it. We got hit, and this all happened in seconds, and so I was like going like this, and then I turned. And then when I turned, we got hit. Then after I got hit, I turned around to see where the truck was, and the truck ended up hitting the back where the tire was and the back seat. So all the glass from the impact went to the back seat. All the glass went flying into the back seat, and so then we were going east. We ended up pointing west at the end of the accident, and the truck, I was looking at it, I was turning like this, and I'm seeing the truck like flying over us, flipping over upside down, landing on top of its back, and it was sliding, so it flipped over. And then the guy, we got out of the vehicle. It was so funny because I got out of the vehicle so fast. We both did, because the adrenaline, you get like an adrenaline rush, and the vehicle, so we were like on the sidewalk already, we were standing in the sidewalk, and And then even people were like, they're like, "Oh, who was in that vehicle?" Because we weren't even in it anymore. And they're like, who's in that vehicle? And we're like, "Oh, I don't know." We're like saying, let's see who's in here, Bud. Damn, this thing is so light. I need to make it brighter here. There we go. Okay, now I can see it. Okay, low life, learning new adventure, the fanatics, Mr. Love, Anthony, Mr. Justin, what's up? Bracy, hey, from Japan, what's up? Arigato, thank you. You too, have a nice day. Hey, Annie, what's up? Hey, Squirrel. Yeah. So then, the all the glass flew in, and then the guy come out of the truck. Hey, dude, you're at fault. And they're like, no, it wasn't. Cops got there and wrote up all the information. It was 2 against 1. And we ended up going to court, and he ended up winning. I mean, but yeah, I mean, people are always in a rush. I mean, you got to slow down. Look at this vehicle over there. It's a van. It's got the door open, and then there's a sheriff behind it. I wonder if the sheriff's gonna pull him over. Yeah. Alrighty. So thanks a lot, everybody that came in and who's still in here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, share it out. Thank you for coming in. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending wherever you're at. God bless you. And remember what Keith says. Call your mama because you don't know how long you're going to have her. Give her a call. Tell her you love her. God bless everyone. Till next time, have a good one. Bye, everybody.